Alright guys, just a quick update on my re-enlistment process. Currently in my truck right now, next to my wife who's in that truck. We have someone at our house kind of like looking at it because we're selling it. My dogs are in the back while our daughter's in her truck. So, got the call today in regards to going to MEPS. So I'll be going to MEPS next Friday. This is, of course, after completing the NACES and submitting any documentation that I needed to submit. So if this is your first video watching with me in regards to enlisting, or should I say re-enlisting or re-entering the military, I am prior service. So my process is a bit different. I am also going reserves. I'm not going active duty again, only because I do want to be there for my daughter. My wife will be going to law school full time for the Army because she got into the FLEP program. So I don't want to go active duty. I'm going to go reserves and stay that way probably till I retire. I did 8 years active. I think that's more than enough, especially in the time that I served, which is from 2014 to 2022. It's the time I initially served. So I've been out for about 3 years. What's going to end up happening right now, like I said, is next Friday I have MEPS. I believe it's just my medical. So from what I recall from the other 2 times I did MEPS, because for the Marine Corps and for the Army, I had the duck walk, the checkup, vision, all that kind of stuff. I know that I think the new thing is that because I am collecting compensation for my disability, I will also have to get that checked, from my understanding. I'll be getting a brief, I think sometime this week or next week. I'm assuming it's going to be next week, a couple of days before I go. Set to do the same thing like you traditionally do. I have to drive to the hotel. I can take my own vehicle to the hotel. I'll check in. I can leave. I just gotta stay there at the hotel, sleep, wake up for roll call, whatever, and then take my vehicle to MEPS. Which for me in El Paso, it's on Fort Bliss, and the hotel is literally like basically across the street. So I'll be able to get there pretty fast. I get to follow the shuttle there and basically do the process again. Now, like I said, I don't know if there's gonna be any differences. I will make sure to remember. For both times I went to MEPS, I know it's in a recording area, and most likely when you're obviously doing the medical and all that, you don't have your phone, but I will make sure to post a video in regard to what it's like for prior service people. Okay, I don't need to do the ASVAB again. If I do, well, according to my recruiter, I do not have to. They're taking my old score. I am doing a rank convergence, whatever it's called. I'm keeping my rank, so I'll be going into the Navy as the grade I held exiting the Army, which is sadly just an E4, but it is what it is. They couldn't take my E5 rank from the Marine Corps because my most recent branch of service is the Army. So I'll be going into the Navy as an E4. So I know I don't have to do ASVAB. My rank's already there. I still choose my job, which, for those who don't know, like I said, this is their first video. I am prior service. And when I got out, I made mistakes and I got 2 DUIs. Both of those DUIs obviously led me to my sobriety. So I've been sober for some time now, going on 3 years. One is expunged, but one I did get convicted of. It was like a plea deal. Went through probation, all that kind of stuff, and obviously disclosed this to the recruiter. I met my recruiter, which, by the way, he's a kick-ass recruiter. I met him almost over 18 months ago. When I first started probation, I met him, talked to him. Kind of wasn't interested because obviously I knew I couldn't get back in with everything, and he told me, you never know. Next thing you know, he's like checking up on me throughout the months and telling me, he's like, wherever I'm interested, to give him a call. And you know what? I stuck out with it. He stuck out with me, and I did want to get back in. I know I got a few waivers that I have to get. So like I said, I'm not fully in yet. Right now, the biggest step was getting to MEPS. you know. So doing the NACIS and all that, which you can check on my other video, what's it about. But in summary, you're filling out a questionnaire about your background, history, where you live, all things like that, right? Pretty detailed. I had to go in. It took me a long time to actually complete it. Especially because I have 2 relatives. I have no idea where they're at in life. Well, with my brothers. I know one's in the Army now. The other one, I haven't seen him since like 2014. So I have no idea. So when it was like asking his address or whatever, I could not provide. And my notes have said because I haven't seen him since 2014. But things like that. So the only reason why not the only reason, but I am choosing Navy because I have hand tattoos, which are these right here. These are allowed to go into the Navy. They're not getting affiliated, obviously, but we'll find out more at MEPS. They might, like I said, it's not a for sure thing yet. Getting through MEPS is going to be the hard part, in my opinion. Me and Mark already talked about it. If I can make it through MEPS, get it done, then the next time I go to MEPS, if everything gets cleared next Friday, the 27th, then the next time I go to MEPS will be to take the oath for the 3rd time. I do leave El Paso next month. So like I said, people are actively viewing our house. So I need to make sure that hopefully I get back in. I would actually like to be in uniform before I leave so that I can be corny and take a picture with my recruiter. You know, like I said, this guy generally cares. All right, his name is C1 Sigler, and he waited, man, a long time, and he's been nothing but straightforward, been very communicative. Even when he took leave, he took his laptop with him to make sure that everything got processed for me. I'm not the only one that he's pushing through, so like I said, we'll see. He's pushed the worst candidates through, so like I said, we'll, you know, hopefully what happened. I did want to go MA. I would not be able to go MA because of my DUIs, but who knows, when I'm in, I might be able to transfer to it if it's still able to, because that's something I do want to do. My ideal goal as a civilian is a law enforcement, you know, or security route. That's kind of what draws my attention, what I enjoy doing. If it doesn't work, like I said, I'm more than happy going UT. I'm going CBs. That's like my second choice, is to go CBs, and then preferably UT first, and then SW or whatever. Like I said, UT is kind of the ideal. Called dirt sailors, allegedly. But yeah, so I don't know what to expect. You know, I've watched other MEPS videos, and everyone I see, it's their first time. I can't really find a prior service one. Like I said, I'm just going off of what I remember from when I went the other 2 times. Even when I was prior service for the Army, when I got out the Marine Corps and joining the Army, it was an inter-service transfer, so I didn't have a break in service like I do now. Like I haven't, August 12th will be 3 years I've been out of the military. But when I joined the Army straight out of the Marine Corps, it was like 1 day late. Like I literally got the Marine Corps June 16th. I joined the Army June 17th. That's literally how it was. It was called an inter-service transfer. So I went to MEPS, did the duck walk, did the physical all over again. I just can't remember if I did a physical, not physical, like the hearing or vision. I'm pretty sure I didn't do that because they had my Marine Corps records. So I don't know if I'm gonna do that again, because I didn't take the ASVAB because I already had it. So I'm pretty sure everything's gonna be the same. I'm gonna go in the physical, and I know they're gonna go over my disability, you know, what I'm getting compensated for. Obviously, do all the drug tests, the urinalysis, the breathalyzer, all things like that. Breathalyzer is actually new, according to videos I'm seeing that MEPS, you now have a breathalyzer. When I enlisted in 2014, I honestly truly don't recall taking a breathalyzer. I really don't remember that. I remember urinalysis, but breathalyzer, that's news to me. But apparently it started in 2018, but when I joined the Army in 2019, same thing, I didn't have a breathalyzer, so I don't know. I don't know if that information is correct, but if it is, I guess it's pretty cool. So yeah, so like I said, we'll see what happens, guys. I'll keep you guys in the loop. So like I said, this is another update. Next Friday, obviously after MEPS is done, I'll start recording though, like when I'm there at the hotel, you know, making small talk. Like at the beginning of the video, I was trying to, you know, say, hey, like, well, here I am at MEPS, or I'm at the hotel, kind of meeting all the other recruits, meeting everybody else who's trying to do the whether it's the delayed entry program or getting back in. Let me know if you guys want me to have like a little interview thing, kind of like talk to everybody there, you know, ask, you know, why they're joining the branch of service. Hey, Astrid. It's my dog. She sees people coming in through the front gate. Look at her. Alright, hold up, guys. Alright, sorry, it might be a weird cut. So yeah, she's still whining because there's a dog outside. So, like I said, if you guys have any questions or anything like that, please let me know. Feel free to comment. I don't really care about the likes or subscribes or anything like that. If you see me, you see me. If you don't, you don't. My target audience for right now are the prior service guys who are wondering what it's like to get back in. Any like first timers, I recommend watching people who are going through the first time. Like I said, my process is a bit different because I'm prior service. Most of everybody who's going in for the first time is talking to a regular recruiter, not a prior service recruiter. So, which are two complete different things. I have a PSR. He's a prior service recruiter. His job is to get to work with prior service. And then you have your other recruiters who do still do reserves and active. But for example, if I wanted to go active, I would talk to a regular recruiter. If I wanted to go reserves, I can only talk to a PSR. But if it's your first time enlisting, you can go talk to a regular recruiter and they'll get you active or reserves. Because it's a completely different process. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, guys. Sorry that I've been delayed. Like I said, I've been waiting for this call. Myself and the recruiter have been waiting for the go ahead for MEPS since my last video. So like I said, you know, it's been some time. I started the process, technically speaking, March 12th, because that's the day I got off probation, and it's a little past 2 months, like literally a couple days over 2 months. So like I said, hopefully, you know, I was told the fastest anyone ever got in was 3 months, right? So I mean, that could be there, but you don't know. Like I said, everyone's different. We had a guy who, I know there's someone right now who's on the same boat as me, but he hasn't even got the confirmation yet to go to MEPS. So like, it's very different. I think this guy had like 7 years. That's like 6.5 years out of service. So, well, breaking service, whatever, breaking contact, whatever it is. So I know his process is a bit different than mine, right? Because apparently, I think with a breaking service, he might have to go back to boot camp or something like that. I think this guy's like Air Force. He's going Navy this time, and I don't think the boot camp counts. For me, it does. I do not have to attend boot camp, or I honestly don't know what the name. I'm pretty sure it's called basic or boot camp, whatever. I don't have to attend it. The Navy. I'm gonna skip that. I'm gonna go right to A school. From my understanding, like I said, when I get more knowledge on that, I'll be able to answer it for all you guys. I'm not tech savvy, so it won't be a thumbnail or anything like that. I don't have no edits, only because like I'm not that kind of person. I do want to get into this. I do want to record my journey. I will also have other kind of videos, like, you know, I'm an aspiring gunsmith, they say. I do like to work on guns and customize my firearms. Like I just like literally finished, well, I'm not finished, but taking a pause on my Glock 45. But yeah, things like that. If you guys have any questions, like I said, please feel free to ask away. I'm not very knowledgeable, but I do have knowledge to share, depending obviously what the question is, you know. I don't talk too much about my experience in the military, only because they're just opinions, right? My opinion and my experience on the branches I've served should not really affect anyone's decision on joining or not, because one, I joined during a different time. Two, it could have been the circumstances of where I was at, leadership involved and whatnot, if I disliked it or liked it, right? But if you guys do want to know about it, I mean, like I said, I'll share some source stories. I like to do, like, you know, the pros and cons of whatnot. I'll make a list. what led me to get out ultimately in the Army was that the Army was not the right choice for me. That's in summary of why I got out the Army. The Army just was not the right choice, especially after the Marine Corps. The Marine Corps I loved. I do regret every single day getting out of the Marine Corps. The Marine Corps was a phenomenal decision that I've made, and I miss it. There was bad days. Trust me, there was a lot of bad days in the Marine Corps. A lot. But, damn, it does not outweigh the good. So, yeah. So, nothing against the Army. You know, my wife's in the Army. She's been having, she's had some shitty experiences, but she's doing good. Like, you know, she's a captain. So, like, she's doing good for herself, right? But the Army, for me, just was not my cup of tea. A lot of things I did not like. You know, my performance wasn't the best in the Army. Like I said, and I'm okay to admit that. But there's just, the Army is what led me to get out. If I just stay in the Marine Corps, I probably still would be in the Marine Corps. I will be basically a little over 10 years right now. But now, like I said, I'm joining the Navy. Gonna continue to retirement. We'll see how it goes. All right, guys. Like I said, any questions, please feel free to ask. I'll do what I can to answer everything in a timely manner. Like I said, I am a new father, so we'll see how that goes. I am still doing my weight loss journey. I think from February to now, I'm kind of down like 30 pounds. I'm wearing the same shirt that I think I recorded my first video in. I can't really remember. All right, guys, be easy.